Peace. Divine Educational Law. Today I'm going to expound on my C of today's degree in the knowledge, excuse me, knowledge build or destroy in the knowledge free cipher. What is the duty of a civilized person? The duty of a civilized person to teach he who is savage. I'm going to stop right there. Let's go back. A savage is a person who has lost all knowledge of themselves and is living a peaceful way of life. Which means they had one time had the knowledge of themselves, and as the church says in the Christian theology, they backslid. Meaning they no longer live in a righteous and civilized way of life. They went to go back to being an 85 or living a peaceful way of life. The difference between them and the 85er who never had knowledge is that a savage at one time had knowledge. According to the definition of a savage, is a person who lost the knowledge of themselves. So you had it one time and you lost it, so now you're a savage. So if teaching civilization is teach you not to be a savage in the pursuit of happiness while you attain the knowledge and wisdom, understanding the culture, and refinement of yourself and knowledge, that's supposed to keep you from becoming a savage, because now you have all those foundational things that's going to hold you tight. As long as you do your part in learning, applying, and seeing it through. So, in today's degree, that means anybody that you know, your brother and sister, that's backsliding or falling to the wayside, not doing their duty, not being who they claim they're supposed to be, it's on you to make sure they upright themselves. Because that's your brother or your sister. It didn't say anything about the 85. It said savage. See, having 120 on cap, beautiful thing. Going through it continuously for the rest of the days that you are on this planet, that's the application. And each and every time you go through these degrees, you should draw more and more and more and more out of it. You can't go with the standard answer that everybody has, just quoting. Don't mean nothing. It just means you was a parrot and you know how to memorize. But how do you see it within yourself? That's the key. So, you are your brothers and sisters' keeper, in all essence, if you're doing the duty of a civilized person. You're making sure that everybody that claims themselves to be the God or the earth is living up to that protocol. And if not, you gotta call them out on their bullshit, straighten them up. Otherwise, they're gonna go back into the world. And with the knowledge that they already have, it's not like you lose the knowledge because you start acting up. You still got the knowledge. But now you know how to manipulate people in different places, doing different things, getting over on the people. So the deaf, dumb, and blind, they're not going to know either way because they're deaf, dumb, and blind. Pay attention to what you quoting. You have to pay attention. Because if you just go by quoting it and based upon the answers that Elijah gave forward, that was his understanding, not yours. This is why Allah gave us the mathematics and the alphabets, the law and the order, and the language. So you can delve into these degrees and extract all the nutrients that's in there. And like understanding, you're not going to get it in one sitting. You got to continuously eat from that. Continuously eat from that 120. So putting that 120 on your cap, that's just the knowledge. And knowledge is not knowledge when you didn't know. It was information and data. You had to process it in order for it to become knowledge. You had to go through the 5 principles of knowledge and ask yourself and answer the 6 questions that knowledge entails. Who, what, when, why, how, and where. Who, what, when, why, how, and when. Excuse me. You have to know these things in order for you to progress and grow into the knowledge of yourself. Because at the end of the day, it starts and ends with you. Nobody else. If you're the sole controller, you have to be the sole controller of you, not of nobody else. You're the God of you, your universe, not somebody else's. You're the head of your household, not nobody else's. It always has to come back to you. Always. And a little quick tidbit for those that might not notice this. If you pay attention to the lessons, it gives you the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the earth. Its speed, its weight, the things that contribute to the earth being the earth. So when your physical degree day comes or your born day comes, and say, oh, I made 51 rotations around the sun. That sounds good if you're on Earth. Because the Earth revolves on her axis and rotates around the sun. But at the same time, the sun doesn't just sit there. It has an axis of its own. And it rotates on its axis. And it don't revolve around nothing, because it is the center of the solar system. Every other planet around it revolves around it. But they all rotate on their own axis. So when it's your degree day, you shouldn't be saying my rotations around the sun if you are the sun. Think before you speak. Study words, study linguistics, study etymology, study language. This can only benefit and boost you up. It's not going to hinder you. You hinder you because you don't want to look forward and through and be thorough. Remember, the supreme wisdom was answered very near correct. Why? Because Elijah didn't get into depth. He only had a limited education as far as school-wise. You're supposed to go into depth. If you think about everybody that's been brought up as far as prophets and things of that nature, a lot of them was low educated or uneducated people who basically was just living the land. And they was given this task to wake up and elevate everybody else. And what's the first thing they all said? I'm not worthy. I don't have the education. I don't have the means. I don't know how to speak. I don't know how to talk to these people. I'm not smart enough for that. And look at them. They all ended up being leaders in their own right. So you have a head start. Because you have the knowledge now. And you can go in depth with the knowledge and draw up everything that you need in order for you to lead yourself, lead your family, lead your community, and anybody that wants to be around you. You have to be a leader with that. That's where the magnet comes from. The magnetic comes from. When you live this, you're automatically going to attract people. Your light is going to radiate. People will see the light in you, even if you don't see it within yourself. From the time that you first learned that the black man is God, before you got your first lesson, the change already begun. And you're supposed to continually change every time and grow every time you get deeper and deeper into this. So even if you don't see the change in you, everybody around sees the change in you. And they will call you on that change. Those that are afraid and fearful, they're going to fall back and fall away from you. Even closest loved ones, family, people that you know all your life. You try to do the right thing and nobody's on that mode with you, you're going to be by yourself. Because they're going to fall to the wayside because, one, the journey is only yours, and two, they made it in their mind, either consciously or subconsciously, they don't want to know. Learn. Continue to learn. Remember, I don't give a fuck how many students you had and you've taught, you're a student first. If you ever forget you're a student, you're on your way down. Because now you're too high in your britches. Can't nobody tell you shit. You think you know everything. Allah knows all. And all of us together make up the essence of Allah. That's how we all be one-minded. But what I know is I know what I know, and I also know that I don't know everything. So what I'm supposed to know, that's supposed to help and benefit others, that's what I know. What I need to learn to help benefit me and then benefit others, that's what I don't know. And that's why the process of education is a continuous, lifelong thing. Don't get caught up thinking you got it down pat. You just started. Even at going on Equality Wisdom Years in a few weeks, I've had knowledge of myself since between the 80s and the 90s. I'm still learning. It don't stop. It don't. And you can't let it stop you. You can't let the other people with the knowledge of themselves deter you. Because what I see, many others don't. And that's okay. It's their time will come for them to see that. It's like a lot of things that I was taught early on, I didn't start really getting to understand until a lot of that shit until I started hitting the free ciphers. Because understanding comes in time. I mean, there's times nowadays I might, oh shit, and get an epiphany or a revelation. Somebody I might be around like, what happened? I just got a clear understanding on something that somebody brought to me 15, 20, 30 years ago. That's the beauty of knowledge of yourself. It doesn't stop. So don't get caught up just quoting the degrees and not really delving into them. Draw it up. That's what the math and the alphabets are there for you to draw it up. You don't have to quote unquote born everything. It's naturally gonna go to the next. Like today, the supreme mathematics is knowledge, build, or destroy. It's not the born day, it's knowledge, build, or destroy day. It's simple. We make it complicated. Peace of Allah is 5%, all the human families of the planet Earth. And that's another thing too. The duty is to teach all the human families of the planet Earth, right? Not one time within that is it ever said you only teach to a certain level. if you 30, 40, 50 years old, I can't teach you. Really? Really? So I guess a large 5% is strictly only for the youth. Once you become an adult, you're no longer on a large 5%? No. That means you're supposed to go back to the Mars because the NOI, all they was doing was teaching adults. They wasn't teaching children. So once we get this and we become an adult, you're supposed to go over there now and deal with the adult factor? No. You teach all the human families of the planet Earth. All 16 shades of black, including the white. You can't reform the devil, but you can teach. It's up to him to decide he wants to learn. Because your duty is to teach regardless to whom or what. Stop minimizing shit. This is why a lot of things is happening and taking place within the nation and outside the nation, because y'all put these constrictions down. You can't have the constrictions. Serves us no good and doesn't serve the community any good. You teach whoever asks you something based upon the knowledge that they're seeking. If they want to become a 5%er, you teach them the tools that you was given. Regardless if they're 70 years old or 70 years old, doesn't make a difference. If somebody wants to know, your duty as somebody who knows is to make sure that they know too. Why? Because they can still tell somebody else. Y'all stuck on this, oh yeah, you get to a certain age, people stuck in their ways. I'm not stuck in my ways. I changed and adapt the same way Allah did. What was his saying that everybody says he said? Because I wasn't around him when he said it. But they said he stayed around the young to keep himself youthful, right? That didn't make him a child. That didn't make him act childish. That just kept his energy up. But that didn't stop him giving knowledge to older people. Is it really funny when I think about it and I build my internal cipher about this? After 69, a lot of quote unquote man-made decisions was made and changes was made. Under whose authority? I don't know. But I know one thing for certain. They wasn't doing that shit when Allah was here in the physical. That's a fact. Y'all changed everything up after he left here to suit your whatever purposes that you think it serves. You know what I'm saying? But that's not how it's supposed to go down. If we take it from the fundamentals and grow it up the way it's supposed to go, a lot of situations that we're dealing with within this nation would not occur. From land ownership, schools, classes, academies, teaching, community outreach, community work. A lot of things would be a whole lot better if we just kept the same protocol. You just adapt for the time and the era that you're in. The foundation is the foundation. That don't change. You can change how you go about it, but the foundation is what it is. So the older ones that have a problem talking about, oh, the young, they just want to change degrees and this, that, and the third. That's not true. Nobody trying to change no degrees. They trying to change the way that we do things so we can be more magnetic and attract the youth in the communities that we live in. You got to be the change you want to see. You can't complain about, oh, y'all doing this, y'all doing that, and you not making no changes. I know a lot of people who sit back and talk about what people are doing, what people are not doing. If you got that much time to talk about people, what they doing and what they not doing, that means you're not doing something. You're not doing enough. Because you ain't supposed to have that kind of time. Not supposed to have that kind of time. My educator taught me, when you got that 120 and you secure with it, out the door with you. Go out there in them streets and teach. You can entertain other schools of thought. Once you're firming your foundation of this, The science of everything in life is everywhere around you. Truth is everywhere. It's not just here within the last 5%. It's not here in 120 only. It's everywhere. So you got to be able to draw out the best part everywhere, anywhere you go. And give that to everybody in all the different places with the people doing all different things. That cipher, completion for everybody. Everybody's within that cipher. That's your target. The target starts here and expands out. The light and the truth starts here and radiates out. Just like the sun. That combination ball of gas with all those gases intermingling and chemical reactions and all that, it's within. And the plasma goes to the surface before it comes out into rays of sunshine that takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach the planet Earth. It's deeper than Nino Brown, y'all. Let's get it together for the sake of our nation and the children and the people of the planet Earth. Peace to the last 5%. All human fans of the planet Earth.